And welcome back to Morning Air. I'm John Morales along with Glenn and Sarah. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday morning here in the first week of Advent on the Relevant Radio Network and the Relevant Radio app. Our email, if you want to reach us directly with your prayer intentions, morningair@relevantradio.com. Now, this morning, Glenn is joined by Mark Valencia, who will be sharing the way that God works through the most difficult of situations. Glenn, take it away.
Thank you, John. What a tale we have today about how God works through very difficult situations. It's a great update. This is a story of a family that was going through a very difficult pregnancy, and we checked in with them mid-pregnancy. And yes, there's good news, but there's been an adventure along the way. Joining me with all the info today and some music to go with it as well, the father of 5 now, Mark Valencia, along with his wife, Ava. Mark and Ava, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Mark, maybe just a quick recap of where you were when we last left off. It was mid-pregnancy. It was kind of a touch-and-go pregnancy, and you were really clinging to God's help, and you had family helping out with the kids as you had to be away from the family home to take care of the hospitalization.
Yeah, so essentially, we were leading up to the delivery and, of course, my wife's surgery. And we had that last week where Ava and I just spent a lot of time together praying a lot. And, I know it's cliche, but at some point we just had to let go and let God. I know that's cliche, but we really just had to have hope that the Lord was going to pull us through this. And, that's essentially what we did. We just held on to the Lord.
What was it like for you, Ava, knowing that this was a difficult pregnancy and then, surgery following all of that? How did your faith help you through this encounter?
I had to have a lot of faith and a lot of hope. I had a lot of hope that everything we've been thrust into was for a reason, and that I and Mary were going to come out of it on the other side perfectly fine and healthy, because that's the only way. You have to think positive in these kind of situations. And so I just remember going to Mass, I think the weekend before my surgery, and breaking down during Mass, which was not like me. And I had to let it all go and leave it all in God's hands. There was really no other place for me to go, and just be hopeful.
Now, Ava, was it almost feeling like a kind of a reward to get to hold your baby after all of that adventure?
Yes, I remember waking up from surgery, and the first thought that popped in my head was, I made it. Thank God I made it. And to be able to go into the NICU and hold my baby was just the best feeling in the world.
Now, Mark, as the father, you have to, it has its unique challenges, is that you have to see the people that you love the most go through this ordeal. How did your faith help you there?
I really look to our Blessed Mother, because I know that she was at the foot of the cross when she saw her son suffer for us. And that's really the main inspiration that I got, is I had to just travel along this road with Ava and kind of, I don't want to say betray, but go against my natural instinct as a man, right? Because men are men of action, right? And I couldn't, there was nothing I could do to take it away from her. I could just walk down with her, hand in hand. And I did my best. But praying to the Blessed Mother and really leaning on her for strength and inspiration and help was super key.
Is that, almost ironically, but made you stronger, knowing that you don't have to do everything by yourself? As guys, we don't have to do everything. There are supernatural forces and people we can call on.
Oh, absolutely. There's a definite liberation of just letting go like that. It's scary, right? It's kind of like when you put your hands up going down the roller coaster, but it's you know on the other side you're going to get through it. And there were some definite twists and turns and stuff, but and we're still going through it, obviously. But it's definitely made me more reliant on the Lord and through our Blessed Mother. You know, it really has, and that's one of the reasons why we name Mary Mary, because we are such believers in our mother's, our Blessed Mother's intercession. So,
Now, here at Relevant Radio, Mark and Ava, we get a lot of prayer requests for a variety of challenges in life, including those with pregnancies. And if you would, Mark, maybe summarize just a little bit about the medical condition and what made this so tricky so that others can maybe get some hope if they're receiving that similar diagnosis.
yeah, so my wife was diagnosed with something called placenta accreta, placenta previa. And essentially what that means is she could have bled to death at any point in the pregnancy. So, it was extremely dangerous throughout the pregnancy. And she basically had to be inactive for the duration of the pregnancy to get to viability. And, I just, I know there's times where people have a lot of situations where it seems hopeless, but just hold on to hope. Know that there are people out there that God uses as vessels for his grace. And I would say praying and just getting as close as you can to the Lord, whether it's through rosaries or meditation or intercessory prayer by others or all of the above. It'll get you through it. And it's getting us through it still to this day.
Ava, how hard was it? Maybe harder than we can imagine to be still and to limit your activity for so long.
Yeah, we're very active. Before we knew I was pregnant, I was exercising. We were in a weight loss journey. And then when we found out that I was pregnant and we thought we were going to have a miscarriage, they told me to stop working out, but I could go for walks. So we would go for walks and, maybe 3 miles a day, if not more. And once they discovered the accreta, they told me no more. Maybe walk 1 mile at a time, take breaks. And so that was very hard to limit my activity. But I kept busy. I painted rocks. I worked on puzzles. I worked when I could. I just baked pies. It was a lot of help from Mark. I had to keep busy.
Now, as we think of Advent, and Advent being a time of waiting, and we think of Mary waiting for the arrival of Jesus, waiting as a woman expecting, that's something, again, guys can't quite imagine, obviously, the same way, but does Advent hit differently when you're pregnant?
It does. I understand. There were so many lessons during this pregnancy, and one of them was learning to be patient and to wait. And, when the time comes, it will happen. And so it's definitely, I'm really looking forward to our Advent season. I'm really hoping it will be more fruitful from the lessons that we have learned during the pregnancy.
Now, Mark, this whole situation was a matter of faith in action. You had a lot of help, especially with the other kids. Tell us what that involved and how you kind of had to be separated a bit from the rest of your family.
Yeah, so we were blessed that my in-laws were able to take care of our children for, 5+ months. But, and I know I touched upon it in the first conversation, but suffering can be such a blessing because our kids came back so much more responsible, and they're such a big help. And that's one of the lessons that we learned, is that the Lord is present, especially in suffering. And it was just amazing. I mean, the help that they are now, especially the 2 older ones, but the 2 little ones too. I mean, whenever Mary's crying, they help out. But I also had to let go too. And so did Ava, and trust in other people that were going to take care of them. In this case, my in-laws. But there was a lot of faith, hope, and love. And I know those are the virtues, right? But they were in action, like you said earlier. It's something that it kind of gets tossed around a lot, I think. But when you actually have to do it, it's quite another thing. So it was a learning experience for sure, and it still is.
You know, as parents, we want to make everything as easy as we can generally for our kids so that life goes well. But, having challenges kind of builds some strength for the things that come up in life as they grow that we can't be in front of blocking for them, as in a football game all the way along. Were you pleasantly surprised? Like you said, the kids maybe came back a little more with a little more heart for responsibility, or how they just, they stood up and stepped up for the challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're definitely surprised, especially our oldest. He really took his role as being the oldest child to heart and watched over his siblings. And even here now, he's like, they're all always trying to take care of little Mary whenever she's crying. And, it's taught us that they're capable way more than what we give them credit for.
and it's true. We have to give them room to grow and make their own mistakes, which is what the Lord does with us, right? He lets us fall down sometimes for our own good, and so I see that now a little more clearly for sure. And it's been awesome to see that in all of our children.
Ava, tell me a little more about baby Mary, how she's doing, how her journey, a long time spent in the NICU, went, and what the road ahead looks like for her.
Yeah, so in the NICU, she needed some oxygen help. She needed help to breathe. Her lungs weren't doing the proper work, and so she had to use the CPAP machine, which covered up a lot of her face. And then she had, some jaundice, so she had to spend a day under, the special lights that help with jaundice. But outside of that, she just needed time to breathe and to grow, learn how to eat. And so she did that she was there about 6 weeks. And she was 6 weeks in the NICU. And so when she was ready to eat, they did bottles because she was rooting and I wasn't always there. And when she got the hang of those, she took off.
Oh, beautiful. That's excellent. And what a great Christmas joy to have everybody home together now. Just so glad to hear that. Now, Mark, one of the ways that you have dealt with this to inspire and encourage and even to thank the Lord is through music. We played a song that you had written last time, and you've whipped up another one.
Yeah, so it's kind of been my outlet. Kind of my therapy really is. I've been writing a lot and using AI to help it bring it to life. I wrote another one, another song called "Don't Forget Me," and basically it's thanking everyone from Relevant Radio, yourself, the people we met at the Ronald McDonald House, the hospital staff, and if you listen to the song, I kind of want people to get their own take on it. But basically, the song talks about not forgetting those who are less fortunate or on the margins, and to remember them. And there's a point in the song where it pivots and it talks about Jesus talks about himself. Don't forget him. And so I just, I was really inspired by my wife's journey, and of course, everyone. Which we can never thank. We'll never be able to thank them quite enough, obviously, but they're always going to remain in our prayers. We pray for them all the time. Everybody, the kids do. We make it a point to pray for them, and this song is kind of my thanks to them, and I dedicate it to everyone, and I hope they get inspired by it.
And before we give a quick listen to a portion of that too, and folks can help out through a GoFundMe, and how can they do that, Mark?
We do have a GoFundMe that we created for Ava. It's Support Ava's Life-Saving Pregnancy Needs is the name of the GoFundMe. It's kind of wordy. But currently we're obviously raising funds for all the costs that we incurred surrounding what happened and everything. And they've been pretty steep. And obviously we're still digging ourselves out of that.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best. Appreciate your time and sharing that story to inspire others and inspire us to give thanks to the Lord as well. Don't Forget Me, music written by Mark Valencia. And Mark and Ava, thank you so much. Blessings to young Mary as well. And hey, look forward to a future update. But now music written by Mark. Don't Forget Me on Relevant Radio.
flesh of these borrowed rooms where shadows chase the light, a haven of mercy's grace where broken hearts take flight. Eva's hand in mine, we trace the fears upon the wall. New lessons bloom like dawn, old truths arise from their thrall.
Oh, the world whirls wild, with spotlights on the bold and bright, but in hidden hollows where the wounded claim their right.
Don't forget me in the frenzy of your fleeting days, when duties drown your gaze. Reach the elders etched in time, their stories soft as haze. Don't forget me, the dreamers young with wings that falter low, the ailing lost in tangled beds where silent rivers flow.
Sounded good. It's Don't Forget Me, song written by Mark Valencia for his wife and everyone he thanks. His wife, Ava, and if you're looking again for the GoFundMe page, it's E-V-A. Ava spelled E-V-A. But you can listen to more of that song, Don't Forget Me, on YouTube from Mark Valencia. Advent is here. Relevant Radio offering 2 Christmas music streams now designed to uplift your spirit and keep Christ at the heart of your celebrations. You can choose the Christmas music stream for joyful carols and Christ-centered